This is what we call ruffle sleeve pro max, and in this video I'm going to show you the easiest way, the simplest way, and the fastest way to go about cutting and sewing it. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so before we start, you need to take the appropriate measurement, and you need to take the width, that's how wide you want the ruffle sleeve to be. Okay, so you need to take the measurement side to side. Okay, you see the points I'm showing you from this side to the other side. So you want to come in by like ½ inch away from your shoulder point at the back and also at the front as well, so that one will be like a, you are going to tack it, so you need that ½ inch to tack it to the main outfit. So you see where I placed my tape. You're going to place it like ½ inch away from your shoulder point at the front and at the back, and you're going to take your measurement. And for this I got 8.5 inches. Okay, so I just got a random pattern paper, and you want to make sure that this pattern paper would contain like your measurement. Then I went ahead, I was trying to get the middle of this pattern paper here. Okay, so after drawing this plus sign in the middle, trying to get the middle, the next thing I went ahead to do, you see that my measurement, I got that 8.2 inches. The next thing I went ahead to do was I divided it by 2 by folding my tape into 2 with the measurement, and I got 4.2 inches, 4.1, almost 4.2 inches. Okay, so what I did here was from the middle, I went ahead to mark 4.2 inches all over. Okay, you see those things they teach us in maths class, diameter of a circle. This is where it comes in really handy for you. Okay, so you can of course do this with your protractor if you don't want to go round and round with your tape. So after marking it round, the next thing I went ahead to do was to connect all my markings together. Okay, so I connected all my markings together and I got a full circle. So after I got the circle, I went ahead to cut out the circle, so I have the pattern for the base of this ruffle, pleats, rose sleeve, anything you want to call it. So the next thing I went ahead to do, I grabbed my fabric and I folded it into 2. I placed the pattern on top and I went ahead to cut out my working piece with my pattern paper. Okay, so everything I just said is what I'm doing now. You guys, when they say no peace for the wicked, me, I'm not wicked, but I've not slept. Anyways, after cutting, I went ahead and took out the pattern paper. So these are the 2 pieces we have here. These are our 2 working pieces. So the next thing I went ahead to do, guys, was to place my forcible interface on it. Now you might want to I think you should use that hard forcible interface. I used this one. You should use that gum stay, right? Yeah, you can use the gum stay, that one that is a lot thicker, if you want something a bit more firm. Okay, yeah, but me, I use like this paper stay and I like the feel I have. But if you want something more stable, you can use that gum stay, that one they use for collars. Okay, so after placing my forcible interface, the next thing I went ahead to do was to place them on each other like this and join around the corners. Okay, so I took it back to my sewing machine and I joined the 2 pieces together. So after joining, the next thing I went ahead to do was to weave it. Okay, so this is what we have here, guys. After joining, I went ahead to weave it. I was just showing you guys, even though my weaving machine, the head was shaking. The next thing I went ahead to do, guys, was I grabbed my organza fabric and I cut out my working piece for the organza. So what I did here was I cut 3 inches in width. That's the width of this organza fabric is 3 inches, and I cut several of it, and this is what we have here. So after cutting this, the several pieces that I cut, the next thing I went ahead to do was to join them together, so I have like a very long working piece. Okay, so I did that, and after doing that, the next thing I went ahead to do was to fold it into 2. Now when you fold it into 2, I'll get 1.5. Okay, so after folding it into 2 and weaving it, this is what we have here. We have like a neat base. I don't really like the pieces I need to be rough. Okay, so the next thing I did was I used my ruffle foot presser to gather the organza. So after gathering it, this is what we have here. This thing showed me shaggy. So I used my needle and thread to finish up the gathering, because I don't know, my needle had a problem. Okay, so now I grabbed the base and I folded into 4 so that I can get the middle. You don't have to fold it into 4. You can still use your ruler to determine where the middle is. So I folded into 4 to get the middle. Then I went ahead to mark it again. Okay, now I want to trace out the lines where we are going to be attaching this ruffle. So from the middle I marked 1 inch on all sides, and that is where we are going to attach the first set of ruffle. Now if you look at that sleeve very well, it has the embellishment, which means there's meant to be space between each ruffle. So for the next line, I went ahead to mark 1.5 inch. Okay, for the next line I went ahead to mark 1.5 inch. I don't know, my camera cut me off, so but this is what I'm showing you here. The next line I went ahead to mark 1.5 inch. You can make your own 2 inches so that there will be enough distance so that you can attach your applique. Okay, so that's where we're going to join it on the next line and also on the hem. Okay, so after showing you, the next thing is you are going to place your ruffle like this, and you're going to sew, which is what I did here. I placed my ruffle like this. See the way I'm showing you? That's how I placed it, and I joined it. Okay, you're going to be arranging the ruffle as you sew. So which is what I was doing here. I made sure I arranged it as I sewed. I did this for the second part as well, and I also did it for the last piece. Okay, this is just 2 layers. Okay, let me just show you what it looked like after the two layers. You can see the distance between both ruffles. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. Then I went ahead to attach the last layer around the hem, and this is what we have here. You want to make sure you give it a very good press. I didn't show you that, but I did it off camera. You want to make sure you give it a very good press at this point, because after this point you're going to be attaching your beads. Okay, so now you can work with your sequin, your normal bead, whatever bead you want to work with. So this is what I initially wanted to work with, but it kept tangling. That's why I don't like beading work. It kept tangling. I was like, when am I going to finish filming this thing to show you guys? That's how I loosened it. And I carry this this bias, this sequin bias, shiny bias, and I attached it so that the tutorial will be ready for you guys. But if you want to replicate exactly what you saw there, you can use the bead. Okay, or this is my own style. Okay guys, so I just attached this thing. I attached several layers, and this is what we have here. Is it not beautiful? Is it not lovely? Is it not catching your eyes? See what we have here, guys. I love it. 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 So now the next thing is attaching it to the main outfit. Okay, so now you're going to need a threaded needle for this. And of course, you need to place this on your dress form or on your client. Now, I just wanted to show you guys that you need to attach this to the sleeve, like to your off-shoulder sleeve. So I'm making a makeshift, make-believe off-shoulder sleeve for you guys here, because I didn't have time to come and sew another one for you. So you understand. So you are meant to attach this to an off-shoulder sleeve. So remember that ½ inch you went in by. Okay, it's at that point you're going to attach this ruffle, pleats, gathers, petals, anyone you want to call it. That's what you are going to attach it to. Okay, so you're just going to fold it into 2. I was trying to use my sellotape to attach this thing, but it wasn't working. But this is how you should attach it. I ended up using my pin to tack it to pin it to the mannequin. I'll get a dress form really soon. So guys, this is what it looks like. This is the simplest way, the fastest way, and the easiest way to go about cutting and sewing this style. Veekee James, you made a very beautiful bride, and this style is such an inspiration. It's different from the norm. Normally people, you put it on their neckline, on their waist, but you put it on the sleeve, and it's beautiful. Thank you so much guys for watching, and see you.